so a bus. And what an ESB allows us to do, it simplifies integration. So now, the problem of many-to-many brittle integrations, the first thing you enable is you make these applications interact, interoperate, work as one happy family by connecting to the bus versus connecting directly to them. So if down the road you add new applications, you just connect it to the bus and they are ready to interact with others. So it simplifies, it makes this whole infrastructure loosely coupled, more dynamically. You could add, you could subtract applications over time. It is less brittle. This platform also, many of our customers use it to take any service, any piece of goodness within these applications. It could be a piece that you are running on the mainframe and you're still happy with it, and expose it for the rest of the enterprise. And we will see in a minute, even to external partners, if it makes sense. You could expose these services so they can have access to them, and you don't have to run through all this messy extra custom work you do. So exposing, repurposing, if you will, goodness, amplifying the access to it. Another thing we do is the entire vision supports what we call event-driven architecture. And what this means is events that happen within your enterprise, as well as events happening outside the enterprise, coming, for example, through mobile devices, through, and I should have put here, cloud and social media. An event, just to pause, think of an event in the simplest sense as anything that happened that's of value or meaning or consequence to some stakeholder or an application. Example of an event is an order came, that's large. Another event in my supply chain could be I have my shipping system just detected a short shipment. Customer asked for X widgets, and I'm about to send a ship notice, advanced ship notice, and says you're about to receive X minus 1. That's alarming to a CRM, let's say, or a sales rep. An event could be outside the enterprise, coming from a device, and this device could be a signal to noise ratio coming from some medical device in a hospital, in an ER room, indicating that there's something wrong. The guy who does repair, we should know about it. So today,
Could be on location. Could be a pacemaker.
Yeah. Pacemaker, by the way, Medtronic has been having discussions with us, and I don't talk about Medtronic, and I was actually involved in selling them and actually helping them implement their first pilot of, anyway, side remark, cut it off the recording. But the idea is events happen today in businesses in their back systems. Very often they stay padlocked and hidden there, and there's no others can leverage it. Our ESB, basically any events that you point the eyes and the fingers of ESB are available in the bus. So within your business you could consume them, act on them, as we will see. But what we've done also is we provide to our customers an in-memory grid. Software AG acquired a company that provides an in-memory solution, and we've actually launched recently the first in-memory ESB. And what this means is now these same events coming from the enterprise or from outside the enterprise, we can drop them in memory. What does that allow me to do? I could process events in the bus, but by putting them in memory, memory gives me a boost of speed, lets me process them much faster. And hence I could start filtering and looking for interesting correlations, interesting trends in real time as it happens. So for example, I could have a simple little watcher that watches things as they happen coming into memory that says, oops, I got a new order. This is, by the way, a little chubby order, big order, and the sales rep, I wanted to notify him. Very simple. I could say, if I have 3 signals coming from the same area, same neighborhood, from their, I keep forgetting, set-top box, that tells me there's something wrong going on there, and all happens within a short time period, I may use this to tell the engineers it's more likely a problem upstreams in the network for that telco company, something exactly one of our customers does. So I could start correlating signals. In banking, examples we've seen is seeing things like fraud. ATM fraud is maybe a flavor of it. I noticed the same account within the same city, X numbers of withdrawals from different ATMs, all happening within a short period of time. From here, I want to flag it as a potential fraud and hand it to the fraud customer rep, so we can call the customer, does more checking, and so on. So the ability to leverage these events coming from anywhere in real time, not only in real time, I have the ability to basically, while I get these events, turn around, go to my BI tools and get historical data, what's often we call the data at rest versus the data in motion. Data at rest, and grab it and enrich data in motion with data at rest and make some decisions. By the way, and I never went into retail, we have the coolest demos built in the area of retail. So similar in their power to the stories that are told by Kevin. Mm-hmm. And I totally failed to do that. I'll skip them just because I said enough. But another example of events, it's interesting, you think events is something that happened. To us, the ability to detect something that didn't happen at an event as eventful is something we can do, and it's very classic. For example, in supply chain, I expect an acknowledgement from the customer that I placed an order to within 2 hours to come to me, part of my SLA. If I didn't get an acknowledgement, sky is not falling, but that's an omen that things could go bad. Maybe their networks are down. So the fact that I didn't get it within that time is an event, a no event. So we could sense gaps of things we're looking for, and then based on that, start making decisions. So decisions is the capability of sorting through data in motion. It could be happening very fast, looking for data spanning potentially many applications, many partners, even many external sources, and then identifying in a proactive way an opportunity, a threat, and a concern, and then acting upon it. So this is a whole area very rich with capabilities. We refer to it as decisioning. This area, we refer to it as events. This is integration. And then finally, when we make decisions and we want to take an action could be as simple as I detected a fraud, turn around to my retail finance and just automatically block, stop letting transactions come out of this person's ETM. I sense maybe a transaction is fishy about compliance in my ERP, just go and change the status in SAP to block it or put it on hold. But also these decisions, the actions could be much more sophisticated. We let our customers take actions by dropping them into inboxes, and these are far more sophisticated than an email. I could send an email all the time very easily, but an email, I don't know that Brian received the email. He may be on vacation, let alone even if he received it and opened it, I don't know if he took an action. So being able to set tasks for different workers, even external, like our partners, human tasks, and watch them and see that somebody do something, and if they're not, escalate it further. Triggering a process. I noticed that there's an excessive trend growing up in requests coming to my business. That's goodness to me. I'm excited, but I'm realizing in my business, more opportunities means my operation people may not be able to support it. They may not be able to do pick, pack, and ship. So I'm noticing an unusual trend coming upon me through my web channel. When this happens, I want to start giving all kinds of heads up to my backup partner in Asia to start doing extra fulfillment, maybe expedited shipment. I want to maybe launch a whole new set of servers dynamically in my environment so I could support them. So you could literally start automated processes, and the automated processes could involve back-end systems, it could involve human beings, and this is often referred to as BPM capabilities and human workflow. And this is pretty much task and process focused capabilities. So what can we do? In essence, we allow customers to have a platform. We refer to it as the 21st century application platform that lets us build applications, and the applications could take different platforms, and you could do them, as we will see, fairly rapidly, supporting agile methods, and you could do applications that are integration centric, you could do applications that are event centric. Integration centric application example could be a retailer, Dick's Sporting Goods. They want to expose data to consumers, to retailers through a mobile device, but that's up to date on inventory. That's integration. Get data as it gets consumed, update it, make it available through mobile. Event driven could be like one of our customers who manufactures and provides services for very large printers. They want to be able to get sensor data about the health of these printers, the fact that a printer moved from one place to the other, and be able to act upon it and send people if needed to do maintenance. You could do decision centric apps and process centric apps with these, and you could combine the two together. I'll stop here for time, I won't go more, but just between us girls, this is an area to become comfortable in telling stories. And the more passionate you come in, this is where you really are going to track with your customer. So, furthermore, these apps that you build, they are security is provided, and as you deal with different systems, we support just about any model of security you have. And just to let you know, as almost the majority of defense agencies in the United States, and some of them we can't even use their logo, like FBI and CIO, they use us and they've pushed the envelope. Just to make a statement, their demands for security are higher than the average customers in the private industry, and we have a very rich security capabilities to support. They're massively scalable, and we support standards. Everything we do is very strong with supporting standards. We wouldn't exist if we don't do it. Standards. And by having a centralized platform to build these kind of apps, you don't have to worry about it's consistent, used with the same tools. You don't have to worry about all the one-offs built with different groups using different technologies. No, that's good. No, that's good. Also, apps that you build with our platform can be very thin apps, and you can 100% support approaches, and we provide capabilities to help with this. So these apps are implemented as microservices. In some of these apps, you could potentially break them into little pieces and literally run them. And these pieces may have some pieces that are running on your mainframe. And to us, run them separately, support them as microservices. Furthermore, any of the services that we expose, any of the applications that we expose, even from some of your legacy, and repurpose them, any of the events that are meaningful, we could introduce and derive additional events. Like based on correlating this and this and this, the event is fire a maintenance guy within the hour. So events, services that you expose, you can expose them to partners outside the enterprise. And we do it by giving capabilities to do API management. We provide API portal, and you could set up portals so external partners, the portal entices them to come in and use your API through examples, samples, testing, all through the portal, and it's all secure, provided securely, so partners of yours could come in and reuse and leverage, if you will, amplify services you have, as well as building UIs to come in. Mobile devices is another example of that. And so, a couple more points just before I finish. These applications, one attractive thing to our customers, you could implement them and deploy them on premise. You could take entire ones of these applications and run them in the cloud, or start moving them over time to the cloud and run in a hybrid mode if you want. So we give you the options to do either both. Today, not 100%, but a majority of these capabilities, you could run them as a cloud subscription if you want. And very soon, we're gonna give you the option to run any of these components totally as a cloud subscription. And one last
But
question.
you can run them all in the cloud. It's
Running
just
on the cloud, absolutely.
all of them in the
Could
cloud.
be private cloud, exactly.
But some of them, most of them subscription, not all subscription.
Not all subscription, not yet at least.
Okay.
And finally, being able to help the IT organization, the CIO, to start, we also give a technology that allows you to look at your landscape, look at your investments, your projects, your hardware, your software, your different applications, and start rationalizing them. And so we actually help you by providing a technology that helps you set up and start documenting and measuring and assessing your portfolio, producing various reports related to cost and risk and time as you start moving from this environment to the other. And the net of it, and I will botch it, but somehow a closing statement, I think is what you guys convinced me to say is, and this basically sets you up as an environment to go from over X 3 years where you are doing innovative work, 50% innovative work, and the other 50% keeping the lights on. Any questions? How long did that take me? It was long.
29 minutes. You got the whole thing.
No, well, it was cut off once. I'm like blown away.